Is the Kreg Ionic Drive something you should consider getting into? Let's find out. Last month, which is October 2025, my local woodcraft got in a shipment of these new Kreg Ionic Drive power tools, and I was kind of like, what? Why does anyone need new power tools? Who are these power tools going to be serving? I kind of looked them over and I was kind of like, with a world of like DeWalt's, Milwaukee's, do you really need another power tool? Most people that are into woodworking already have a bunch of tools. So does this lineup of tools serve any real purpose for anyone out there? I just couldn't understand that. And if you come onto YouTube and you start looking through like the different videos that are out there about the Kreg Ionic Drive, most of them are corporate videos. They don't really tell you much about them. They show a lot of superlatives. They have a lot of dramatic music that are like, really kind of punchy and like, rah, but they don't tell you anything about them. Like they don't tell you, why is this tool better than a DeWalt? Why is this tool better than Milwaukee? And then you get all these YouTubers and they're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. You look at the dates and you're like, oh, well, obviously Kreg sent them the tools because they released a video just when the tools dropped at the beginning of October. Did they even have the time to use them? And are they even giving us really any insight into the tools other than, okay, this is how it works? Now, I don't know if I have anything more to offer. However, I attended some events where our regional representative, Ray, had the full lineup of Kreg tools for us to play around with. I did a lot of dry testing with the different ones, the jigsaw, the sander, the oscillating tool, the circular saw, the trim saw. I mean, yeah, they're all right. Like yeah, I'm trying to find a reason to get excited about it. Now, a lot of you are going to say, hey, man, they've got the Rebel, right? Which is that pocket hole drill jigging thing. And I totally get that. Like, I'm a pocket hole guy myself. I've been making pocket holes with this little Kreg jig. You all know what I'm talking about with this. But to be honest with you, I don't want to go beyond this. I don't make cabinets. I don't do kitchens. I don't do things like that. So it's not really in my ballpark. So the times that I need to make pocket holes, I can use this and get along really, really well. So the idea of a Rebel is quite intriguing to me. But at $350, it's not that intriguing. During the demonstration with Ray, he showed me the impact driver, and there were a couple features that he showed me that were kind of piqued my curiosity. I was like, that could be something. So fast forward a month to last weekend, I got to play with all the tools a little bit more, and I was like, oh. Now, one of the issues about the Kreg lineup is that it's a whole nother tool platform. Do I need another battery platform? However, this past weekend, the local Woodcraft was doing a special where you buy the tool and they give you the starter kit for free. That's a really low barrier to entry, and it's one of the things that I've been thinking Kreg has missed the boat on for the past month, where they had this whole new tool line. Black Friday's upon us. They're not making any deals. Well, why would I want to buy their tools, right? You got a new tool, nobody knows anything about them. Get a good deal out there so people will be willing to try them. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? If I buy that impact driver for 120 bucks and I get the startup kit that's extra 130 bucks, well, how could you go wrong? And that's exactly what I did. So this is the Kreg Ionic Drive impact driver, and I kind of like it. It's nice and compact. It's about 4.5, 5 inches this way. Without the battery, it's about 8.5 inches tall. With the 2 amp hour battery that's on here now, it's about 9 inches or so. So it's fairly compact. It's not too heavy. It's well balanced. Now you can get a 4 amp hour battery, but you know what? I work in the wood shop. I don't leave. I'm not working on the field. So the need for having a larger battery is not that important, because you know what? If I run out, I can totally drop this on the charger. And you know what? I'm in my workshop. I also have other impact drivers to stand in case this one dies. And when I look at this Kreg Ionic Drive impact driver, I'm going to be comparing it to some of the other impact drivers that I already have, like the Skill Power Core 12 volt, the Festool TID 18, and my old and trusty DeWalt DW885 impact driver. This one I've had for like 12 years, ever since it first came out in 2012, so maybe 13 years. It's been a great performer. Festool and the Skill are my more recent purchases. And you know, the reputation, especially the Festool, precedes it. The Skill has been a very, very compelling performer. As you can see, I've already got 3 impact drivers. Why would I ever need to buy another one? Let me tell you. So one of the most interesting features that I found on this impact driver that I didn't see in any other impact driver on the market is when you're trying to retract the screw, it actually pulses and backs the screw out, so you don't strip the head out while you're pulling it out. And I was like, okay, there's some interesting features that might be really, really compelling, especially if you're doing pocket hole joinery. So let me give you a demonstration of what I'm talking about. This is a white oak. This is the Simpson Strong Tie Timber HDX 12-inch fastener. and it's 3/8 inch in diameter, and basically it's meant to like attach big timbers together. You see all these guys on YouTube driving these type of fasteners. Actually, nobody drives the 12 inches. These are just way too big. But you see all these people driving all these fasteners in pieces of wood, and what does that tell you? We're woodworkers. We're not timber framers. We're not using this kind of fasteners. We're not doing anything of the sort. It's utterly ridiculous. And then you see these other guys that are taking 1.5 inch like spade bits, and they're drilling through 2x4s. And it's like, okay, if you are an electrician or plumber, that has a lot of application. But if you're a person making cabinetry or furniture, there's not going to be a time typically when you're going to be drilling through 2x4s with a spade bit or needing any kind of fastener for timber frame or woodworking. So we're not going to do any of that craziness. That's just craziness. We're going to use Kreg 2-inch pocket screws because, well, that's pretty much what we're going to be using in a real world environment. 2-inch screw with the regular drill bit, and because it's all 1/4 inch collets, you just kind of push the collet forward, lock it in place, and now you're ready to go. Before we begin, let's go over some of the functions that are on this particular impact driver. Okay, there's a trigger, and then there's the forward selector and rear selector. And then there's actually a middle detent that you kind of put in the center, and nothing happens. There's a light down here that kind of shoots up to where the bit's going to be. And then down here there is a clutch control. 4 different settings. There is 1, which is the first speed. 2, faster. 3, the fastest. I think that's like 2,000 RPMs or something like that. Then there's the automatic mode, which kind of will control the torque or the speed of the impact driver depending on the resistance of the material. Just gonna put it right there. Setting number 1. Let's go to setting number 2. Setting number 3. That had some nice quick results. And now we're going to go to the automatic setting and see how it does. So what happens is on the automatic mode, once it reaches a point of resistance, it actually will stop so that you don't jump and start to strip the head. And then all you have to do to restart is to pull the trigger. There we go. And now let's remove the screws. We're going to go back to our modes, back to 1, and see what happens. 2, 3. Oh, that's very fast. And now we're going back to the automatic mode. And now here's where you're going to see the drill just kind of give that pulsing motion in order to remove the screws so that you don't strip the head. Now notice that while it was pulsing, I did not remove the trigger. So let me pull that one more time, put that back in. And now watch my finger. I'm not gonna, or I'll do it this way so you can see. I think that's the coolest part of this Kreg impact driver. I do like that automatic extraction feature. It's really the feature that made me decide to give this impact driver a try. We can also do pocket hole drilling here, so let's actually try that. I'm gonna put the pocket hole driller there. We're gonna leave it in the automatic mode, and now we're gonna drill. So as you can see, it's stopping as we're getting resistance. Okay, now let's go put it into 1, or actually we'll put it into the number 3 setting because it's pretty much the same. Now, one of the things to bear in mind, you actually want to make your drill run as fast as you possibly can so that your hole boring is as clean as possible. It'll prevent a lot of the tear outs that you may normally have, especially if you're going in slowly. And so you want to put your bit in, setting number 3, and then we're going to put it in here, kind of push our way to the material. And then we're going to start and be kind of at full power, full speed, before we actually start to do the plunge. there we have our 2 pocket holes. Well, there it is, the Kreg Ionic Drive 20-volt impact driver, 1/4 inch. I'm interested to see how it's going to perform. I don't have any kind of true definitions for whether it's great or not. At the moment, I'm going to put it in the lineup. We're going to start building projects, see how it works, and see how it compares to these other great impact drivers. And then I'll come back in a few months after using it and let you know my thoughts on it. But I do think that probably of all of the tools that Kreg has released under the Ionic Drive, this impact driver is the one with the most interesting features. Of course, can't ignore the Rebel. If you're really a pocket hole person, I would suggest that you check out the Rebel. They actually have a special going on at Woodcraft that you can buy the Rebel for the tool-only price of $299, and that'll give you the kit with the battery and the charger. So that special is running till the end of 2025, so I'm thinking maybe I might get that, but still for me, since I'm not a big pocket hole person, $300 is still a bit of money for me to spend on something like that. That's kind of my thoughts right now on the Kreg Ionic Drive impact driver. It's probably the shining star of their entire lineup. I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm going to be back in a few months to let you know exactly how it goes and my thoughts on that then. So until then, hope this helps. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Also, if you've enjoyed what we do on this channel, think about buying coffee from spoilcoffee.com. That's what I do for a living. I make coffee for people all around the world, and that's a great way for you to get coffee for yourself while supporting what we do here on this channel. So, hope this helps, and see you next time.